What's up guys, Mega Bleeder here, back with another episode of Mechanical Mastery Plus. Today, we're going to solve our power issue. We ran out. In our ore processing, we upgraded a lot, and then with our fissile fuel production, we are draining power really quickly. We can see our storage is not really filling up. So we're going to solve that today with an intermediary power step using Extreme Reactors. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to set up 4 breeder reactors. We are going to breed up. Our fuel type is going to be this yellorium, which is just uranium, and the waste product after it burns through the yellorium is cyanite. And then the cyanite we put in a reprocessor with some water, give it some energy. This is a multi-block. It creates plutonium, which is a new fuel type. And then we'll get the same thing where we can process with some cyanite to make some lutecrite, and we can keep upgrading to make the higher level fuels. I want to get 4 reactors set up, and these are going to be really inefficient. And like I said, these are going to be breeder reactors, and I'm going to make them into 9x9. So we're going to take 4 blocks out in each direction, like so. We'll put our reactor controller here, and then each one of these will get expanded out. And I'm going to build a really small one here just to get us an idea of what it's going to look like. And I think I can actually use building gadgets for this. So if I take this guy here and let's build it up, let's say 14 blocks. I'm not sure. So that'll be 15, 16, 17. I'm not sure if I'll have enough height. I think we're going to go down 1 more. So let's see. Nope. Reset. That's the wrong thing. We want the building gadget. Now, will this work? Yeah. Okay. If we're going to make, we're going to need control rods, and we need the fuel rod reinforced. Did I not? I did not set up those. So the fuel rod reinforced, that's steel and graphite bars. Put this pattern in here. So the fuel rods, let's see, let's grab 100 of these. So if we place this guy right in the middle, I want to make an inefficient reactor. I don't want it to have any cooling at all, really. I just want it to burn through fuel really fast. I don't think our uranium system is going to struggle to keep up. I don't think our uranium supply is going to struggle to keep up. I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Need to go up 12 more. It's 7x7, so it's 49 times 12. So if we do 49 times 12, and we can actually do this in here, so we can do multiplication. So it's 7x7. We can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 by 7. And we know that we need to go up 12 levels, so we can actually do the math, and it'll all automatically input it there for us. And then we're just going to take a bunch of these, and then I think we might be able to use, yeah, we can use our building wand. And then if we go back in here, we're going to need the control rods, and we know we need 49 of those. So we can take those, put it in our offhand. You can just click that on there. And then the last thing that we're going to need, so it's 7 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13, 7 times 13. 7 times, can we do 13 and then also times it by 4? Will that work? I think that works. Yeah, very cool. We're also going to need passive forge energy tap because we are not supplying this with a liquid. We're going to need reactor solid access port. Yes, we're going to need 2 of these. This will allow us to put our fuel in and get our waste out. Fuel injection port. Let's go ahead and get 2 of them. Let's take our glass. So we're going to have energy coming out, and I'm not certain which one of these we're going to need, so we're going to put 1 on each side. And then if we do this, this will build a reactor. Yep. Okay, so let's grab some uranium. Let's see if we can do blocks, fuel injection, and solid access. Can we put that in there? We can. Look at that. It did not fill it up. We can also put in ingots, but we're just going to do a bunch of blocks. It's going to take a second to fill up, but you can see we're getting tons of uranium. There we go. Okay, so now it's full, right? And I think over here, if we hit this with a wrench, this would be on eject automatically. It's on outlet mode, eject waste. So if we turn this on, there isn't any risk with this. So if we just turn it on, it's going to create power. So it's making 47, it's making 50,000 RF per tick. And the hotter it gets, the more burn up rate it's going to have. So right now it's currently making 3 millibuckets per tick. Universal cables, can I put this down? Will output here? Well, it doesn't look like it's going to. Oh, there it goes. So we have to be pulling the power out. We're pulling out 60,000 RF per tick. Okay, so now it's working. Did we get any cyanide in here? Yep, there we go. We're ticking up with cyanide. So what I'm actually going to do is set up 4 reactors. And what I'm going to do is use the copy paste gadget. So if we copy and we click that guy and we click this guy, what did that say? Dyer would be proud? Dyer would be proud. I don't know why. So if we change it to paste and we look at the copy paste gadget, we can see here what it's going to require. We need 637 of the control rods, so 637, but we need it by 3. We need more steel ingots, so we need to upgrade our buyer here. So we'll pop him down. So we're getting more steel, 637 times 3. I'm glad we put that graphite on passive a long time ago. We'll take all those, those. So click him. Yes. And that should be 3 full-size reactors. Now we just need to input and uranium blocks. Okay, so these are full, that's full. Excellent, but these are still running. So we increased our power generation by 63.4. Let's do some math. We'll say 63 times 4. We increased our power generation by 252,000. These are kind of ugly, but I could put export buses on here instead, or an import bus. I could change this to make it look nicer. Okay, so I was tinkering around a little bit. This is what we ended up with. I did get our reprocessor running, so we can see we've got cyanide kind of constantly trickling in here, and it gets processed into plutonium. I did dress this up a little bit. I've got some reactor casings and some stained glass here because it was just solid green box that didn't really look all that great. So I set it up, decorated it a little bit, moved it around. We have to give it water. I'm doing that with a water condenser. And then I hooked up all of these machines and moved our inputs and outputs with the entangled blocks. So back here on the back side, they're just mirrored setups. We've got our input that's getting our uranium and our output that 2 of them currently, we can see the broken texture there. So these 2 reactors are connected to this guy, and then these 2 reactors are just connected to this interface storing the cyanide. The cyanide we need to be able to make the turbine resources, which we are definitely going to get up and running. So I've got these 4 breeder reactors here. I might make them slightly larger. I could definitely expand back this way. I think I would expand up to about this block here, just to make them larger so that they're burning through more uranium. If we look at our uranium, this is just locked in. These things, they do burn through a good amount of power, but it's not enough to affect us in any way whatsoever. So we've got our 4 breeder reactors, and once we have enough of the cyanide, and I'm not sure how much we need, then they will all be transferred, and the output will be sent to this to be processed into plutonium. So I think what I'm gonna do is eventually probably expand these to make them a little bit bigger. Remember, they're breeder reactors, so we're just using them to burn through fuel so we can get plutonium. I think I'm going to build a larger reactor here or down here on this lower level. Building a larger reactor will be able to make a lot of steam that we'll be able to power a turbine with. And I think if we check in here, Extreme Reactors, if we look at the client, no. If we look at common, we can look at the turbine. So the max height is 32, max size is 32. So what we can do is build one that's actually 32 high. So maybe we won't even do that here, because this section, so if we do that, so this is 19 high. So if we wanted to go up in height to make a max size turbine, which I don't think that we'll do. Maybe we'll do a max height because it can be 32 by 32. So maybe we'll build one inside of this chunk here that is a full 15 by 15 by 32. And then we can put a reactor to generate the steam for it somewhere down here. That way we can have power. And I'm not certain if that's going to be our best power source that we'll have to use in this pack. We'll probably end up using the mechanism reactors. I think that, as a matter of fact, we're going to need to, because the fissile fuel will get made into the nuclear waste, which then will make us plutonium and polonium, which I'm certain that we'll use. I'm not sure if that'll be our main power source. The mechanism one, it is pretty powerful, so it'll probably end up being our main power source, but I don't want to just go immediately right to that. So these are those reactors. Like I said, we're gonna need a bunch of cyanite, but I also want to have plutonium building up because this is a fuel. This will be a better burning fuel for our other reactor. I think the last part of today's episode, we're going to set up this Pigment Craft Tweaker Mechanical Magenta. I think we're gonna auto craft this in our mechanism area. And it's actually going to be really simple. These are going to be some simple machines to set up. We'll use the formulaic assemblicator from Mechanism. So we'll process all of that and get all of that set up here in our mechanism room. I haven't decided just yet if I want to reorganize these because they're kind of just thrown down. They were thrown down out of necessity. So I might move some of them. Like this one here doesn't necessarily need to be in this spot. I mean, it needs osmium, but I think I might expand a little bit and maybe set these in smaller blocks of spaces, kind of like the way the thermal room is set up. I like this a lot, and it was a good size. I like the way that I have them set up because they actually fill out the space pretty nicely, and I'm not certain that we'll have more thermal machines to put down in here. If we do, we can expand just a little bit. No big deal. We can bridge this gap in between here. But I think I'm going to do the same type of design in here with the mechanism room. It'll just take a little bit of time. It's tedious to break down stuff like this and move it around, but in the end, it's worth it. It just looks so much nicer. What we're going to need to do is set up some auto crafting for the mechanical magenta. So let me go ahead and set up some recipes and we'll get to that. All right, so we have a perfect transition. I was just talking about setting up these areas to look nicer, and the very first thing that we need, the pigment mixer, takes HDPE, which is high density polyethylene. This is a thermoplastic polymer which is made from ethylene, and this we get from mixing liquid ethylene and oxygen with substrate into the HDPE pellets. For the liquid ethylene, we're going to need a condensator, a rotary condensator. The gaseous ethylene is going to come from water and hydrogen and biofuel. We're going to create these. We're going to need an electrolytic separator. So let's go ahead and get a pattern set up for this guy. We're also going to need this core here. We can craft all of this. Give me one of those. We're also going to need speed upgrades, so let's take him. We're also going to need water, which we're going to pull from our system. Actually, let's just take a water condenser. I'm going to need 2 leaves. Also, we're going to need those water buckets. I'm going to need add-ons. We're also going to need a crusher. Do not have crafting recipe set up for the crusher. We can use fluid substitutes. That should be okay. Yes, excellent. We're also going to need installers. We're just going to take 1 installer. That should be plenty. We're going to need another set of upgrades. And then what else? A pressurized reaction chamber. 2 pressurized reaction chambers. Okay, so I think that's everything we need. Nope, we do need a buyer, and we are going to process sugarcane into biofuel for that. So everything here should be just fine. So we're going to start with the electrolytic separator. Cool. So now we can make our pigment mixer. Boom. Pigment mixer. That's a quest. That would be in here. No. That would be this guy. So we got the pigment mixer. We're going to need the painting machine and the pigment extractor. So painting machine needs dye base, which needs sawdust, which is going to come from oak. I had some of this in here. Yep, there it is. And if we go painting machine, the dye base, I don't think we're going to need a lot of this, if like any more than that, honestly. And then we also need the pigment extractor. That's an easy one too. And then from there, we'll need the advanced mechanical essence. So I thought we were going to get to this time. Let me go ahead and check the footage. I'm going to edit everything that I have, and then we might set down these, but I don't know if we're going to have time, but we did compact our little setup here. So let me come right back after checking our footage. All right, so I edited down everything, and turns out there's a lot of space left. There was a lot of rambling setting this up, a lot of stuff that kind of got messed up with the filtering and stuff like that. So I'm just going to walk you through from beginning to end what this looks like, and then also the end setup here. And this might end up moving. I'm not certain. I kind of like where it's at. So what we've got here is an electrolytic separator getting us hydrogen and oxygen. These are filtered outputs for the gas that are sending these to these areas, to this PRC and this PRC. This one is getting the hydrogen. This one is getting oxygen. This one with water and hydrogen and biofuel are making the substrate and the ethylene. The ethylene is coming out and getting pumped into this tank, which is on dumping excess, and that's getting put into here, turning from gaseous ethylene into liquid ethylene, which then gets outputted into here, gets mixed with the oxygen and this substrate to make the HDPE. That HDPE is getting exported and sent into this drawer and this enrichment chamber. So we've got sheets here, we've got some pellets here. We don't use the pellets for a lot. We will use the sheets for more than what we do the pellets. We're going to use these black HDPE sheets in the future for the solar neutron activator and the SPS casing. This solar neutron activator we need to process our lithium that we made before. So that's this setup here, and it actually is a lot less complicated than like the 40 minutes it took me to set it up and move everything around and mess with filtering and all that. So moving on, using the HDPE, we did make our pigment mixer, and that is here. So what I've got is items coming out and also power coming out, powering all these machines. We've got crafters here that will make our blue paintballs and our blue lumen paintballs. And then one here that is going to make our red and our red lumen. Those will get extracted into the pigment extractor and then put into the pigment mixer. And then the pigment mixer will extract, it'll create this mechanical magenta, which will then get pushed down into this painting machine, which will then paint our inert advanced mechanical essence into the advanced mechanical essence. So all I have to do is set up these guys here. These are our dyes, our glowstone, and then our inert mechanical essence. And those I can just deposit back into the system. And then if I turn this on, we'll see these start to work. Oh, I need a space here for those blue paintballs. So let me craft up some of those. The paintball, we need a blue, and we're going to need a red because I did not have those filters saved here. So what we need to do is actually turn this back off. Always off. We'll take these guys out. We need to put blue in here and remember it. So we can see now that's working. And this should, once I set this to input and set a filter on it, it'll work. And I need to set this one here. So a red paintball will go there. Remember that. Yes, excellent. And then we'll just have to take one of these blue lumen paintballs and one of these red, because this needs a filter. And now those will get extracted, and these will get extracted. And we can just pop these right into here. These machines are very loud. And the painting machine is very loud too. Or that's the paint mixer that's very loud. Sounds gross. Can I put these back in here? Yeah, there we go. And I need to put, what, overflow filters on these? Let's go into pretty pipes. We'll put stack limiters on them. And I need another one. Let's just change this to, say, 32. And 32. So that's making that. That's coming into here. And then it needs 2,000 of that. And now it's going to get it. And there's our advanced mechanical essence, which is a quest. As it turns out, good old paint job. And it gives us 2 more, and now we can finally make the sink. We'll pop that in there. Let's get some upgrades for these. Let's find out what upgrades are available. So it doesn't take any of the gas upgrades. Okay. So we need 3 energy. 4 energy, actually. Because of this guy. And then 4 speed. There we go. And then you are going to output automatically. Excellent. So now, the advanced mechanical essence, this guy, what we will end up doing with it, we can make the bioreactor, the sink, the end gobber. Yeah, these are things that we'll need. We're definitely going to buy the tier 4 trade permit. And did I link that? I don't remember. Yes, I did. So now, the tier 4 trade permit, if we use this guy, we can say, hey, craft me one of those. And then we'll go to our buyer, which is back on the bridge. And if we click him in there, now we can buy tier 4 things. So we could buy refined fuel. That's everything from this rubber wood all the way to the ME controllers. So endergobber, beniatite, anglesite, nether quartz, Bottles of enchanting. Refined fuel, biofuel, lava, water. Those are nice. We could buy those. Ghast, Enderman, Endermite, Allay, Phantom, the flux stuff, and then the fission reactor casings. The fission reactor casings, I think we needed those. Yeah, we need those to make the induction casings, so that'll be really nice. So we unlocked our tier 4 trades. Sweet. Let's go back to that mechanism room. And we're going to get some muffling upgrades. Let's take these because we want to silence these machines. And what did we do? We ran out of paintballs? No way. Really? That's not over there. It's over here. Did we really run out of paintballs that fast? No, we didn't run out of paintballs. Let's see. Linking tool. We've got paintballs, right? No, why is this not connected? You are online. Oh, matter. That's what it is, matter balls. Let's take a look here and troubleshoot this. Find out what our problem is. Is it because I didn't turn this back on? Yeah, I didn't turn this back on. There we go. There we go. We'll put this on round robin. We need more muffling upgrades. Let's get 6 of them. I want the machines to be quiet, but I don't want them to be completely silent. So what was that? This guy? And that guy? There we go. One of these is still a little loud. Is it the painting machine? I think it's the painting machine. This one has a slight lead, I guess. We have a lot more red. We balance that out a little bit. This is using a lot of energy. Is this... yeah, I have this upgraded. Well, we're making them. Okay. So the next thing that we're going to do with this guy is use him in a crusher to make advanced mechanical dust. And then that we'll have to send one into a chemical oxidizer to get the inactive advanced mechanical gas. Right? What's the... yes. And then we'll have to take the inactive advanced mechanical gas, put it in the solar neutron activator, which will make the advanced mechanical gas. And then that will be used in here with the dust to make a crystal, which we can then sell. But we do get an inactive advanced mechanical gas back. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is using just a gauge dropper to make the first inactive mechanical gas and move it around. Because it gets recycled in this system here, but we need the solar neutron activator to make our first one. And to make that, we need the black HDPE sheet, which is going to need the darkness, which needs the essence of darkness, or the enriched essence of darkness, which is going to be darkness essence in a blast chiller, and that is carbon powder, polished blackstone, and lava. So I think this will be the next thing that we're going to have to automate next episode. The lava is easy, polished blackstone easy. The carbon powder is going to come from gilded blackstone, and we'll have a less than 1% chance of getting that. And then we'll get 8 carbon, and then the gilded blackstone comes from a metallurgic infuser. So yeah, we'll automate this next episode. But I want to thank you guys for stopping in, and appreciate the huge amount of support on the videos in the series. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And thanks so much.